This afternoon. We have Sara Simmonds over from the UK, and Sara is going to speak to us about how to sell more and waste less. Sara is the Chief Mentor at the Conscious Innovator. She's also a leadership expert and has mentored around empowering businesses to reimagine their growth. So Sarah has worked with the likes of Harvey Nicks and River Island and has even launched her own ethical denim brand called Sharka Chakra. So with no further ado, Sarah, I suppose I'll hand over to you, and looking forward to hearing your talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Showcase Island. How's everybody doing today? Are you having a great day so far? Yeah, awesome. It's a real privilege and honor to be with you guys today at such an esteemed show. I hear that Showcase Island is over 50 years old, and you are the heart of bringing Irish makers all together in one place. And making is something that is very, very close to my heart and my background, and it's what has given me my mission. And my mission is to help makers and conscious businesses from all over the world thrive. My background is that my dad had a textile mill in Yorkshire in the 1980s, and he made worsted and woolen cloth. And I saw the positive side that what we craft can have on not just the people making it, but also the people you're selling to, and the social and environmental impact you can have through positive being the positive word here, textiles, manufacturing, and brands. And as I say, that's what I love about the authenticity of Showcase Island as a show. So this is going to be an interactive workshop style together. We've got some great time. We've got between 45 minutes and an hour. And my plan is to give you a roadmap of how to sell more and waste less. Does that sound good? Yeah? Because does everyone want to sell more and waste less? Yes? Cool. So just start to think, like, what's your biggest challenge right now? Would anyone like to share? What's your challenge on sales, on building awareness, on taking your amazing Irish products and reaching new global markets? What's your challenge on impact? What would you like to be doing? If you could reimagine your businesses to connect with people at a new level, what would it be? Would anyone like to share? Pardon? Shipping costs. Biggest challenge. Yeah. And shipping costs connects to pricing, which connects to value. Yeah? It connects to your value. It connects to people valuing you and valuing your products. Because if people value your products, you can increase the prices, or you don't need to be so particular about margin. Then it doesn't really matter as much if the shipping cost increases because you have more margin to play with, right? But the problem we have today is that there is so much competition out there in every single category that it's really, really hard to connect what makes you unique, which I call your unique power position, to your hero products, to your dream customers. And I'm going to share with you the roadmap of how you can do that in a really seamless way, so that the output is that you won't mind or care about shipping cost increases as much, because you'll be able to charge more or the real value for what you sell. Does that sound like a good plan? Yeah? Okay. So let's begin with where we are right now in the world of consumerism. In the world of consumerism, consumers don't want more of anything. Now, after my background in textiles, I spent over 12 years working as a buyer and then a head buyer for amazing stores, which include Harvey Nichols and River Island, as I was kindly introduced. And it was during my time at Harvey Nichols, I was buying over 100 of the world's top brands when I became conscious, which I know you all are today. This is in 2006. I suddenly looked around and I said, why is there so much stuff? Why have the seasons of buying gone from 2 to 6 a year? Why am I going to some of the most amazing global brands that we all know and seeing so much product? What's wrong with the orange of last season? Why is the orange of this season not cool anymore? Right? These are all the questions I was asking as a buyer, which again, I'm sure many of you are. And so I began to have this awareness. Then consumers don't want more of anything. This was before we heard about global brands burning stock. What's that about? Yeah, it's happening. Right? And do you know how much, or how much would you guess, consumers spend on stuff each year? Would anyone like to guess? Billions, trillions. Consumers spend $44 trillion on stuff a year. That's $1 million a second. And stuff is consumer products and services. That's the definition, right? So everything that we consume. And what's happened is, again, a lot of industry experts here, so I'm sure becoming conscious that we're making too much stuff is not news for you. But the thing is that it is news for the world's consumer. Many of you here are making amazing, authentic products, right? But the thing is, it's always been challenging for the consumer to know about that and appreciate that. But the great news is for you that today the consumer has also become conscious. So the consumer is with you as amazing makers and buyers of authentic products and retailers. Everybody now, more and more, are aligned to the same fact that no one wants more of anything. Now, the other challenge that we have going on is what I alluded to a few moments ago. Today, we are in a digital world, as we know. We're in a physical world and a digital world connected seamlessly together. What that means is that, as makers of Ireland, now you're competing with makers of all the other countries in the world that maybe also have amazing woolen products or whatever else that you are specialists in. And because of the digital world, now it's a fight for ad spend, right, on keywords. And when there could have been 10 competitors a year ago or 2 years ago, now, has anyone noticed this? Competition is increasing, right? I don't know, what categories are you guys in? Would anyone like to share? Shout out what you make. Come on, anyone share something? Let's interact a bit. Because as well, I love to solve problems, right? So if you want to engage and interact, I'm here to answer your problems as we go. So in general, the competition is increasing category by category all around the world, and you're fighting for keyword space. So when this comes back to Rosemary's point about shipping costs, everything is connected. Because how are your margins? Have they decreased in the last year? As shipping costs go up, raw materials go up, marketing costs go up, have your actual margins decreased? Because I see this a lot. Margins going down and costs going up, right? Now, when you can compete and connect to people and make a 1-second connection with what your unique power is of your business, this means that you can build an audience. Build an audience literally, physically, but also build a digital movement and connect to people all around the world. The problem is 9 out of 10 businesses don't know how to stand out and connect what makes them unique to their dream client. Now, here's the thing about what makes you unique, right? Saying I make crafted products isn't unique. That's a category. Saying I am fair trade, I am organic, this is not unique. Saying I enable artisans to reach global markets, this is unique. Saying I make real food and things the French way, this is unique. Is this making sense, everyone? Yeah? So, your dream clients, here we go, I'll look here, want your meaning. Right? Your dream clients want your meaning. Who thinks meaning is marketing? Who thinks meaning is a strapline? Who thinks meaning is your brand story? Who thinks meaning is the products that you design? Who thinks meaning is how you communicate? Who thinks meaning is how you sell? Your meaning is all of those things. And remember, today, you only have 1 second to stand out and make a connection. And this is the problem, because it's challenging, right? To get all of that meaning that we just talked about. How do I take all of that and make it make sense so that I connect to people in 1 second? So the problem is people's websites say one thing, social media says another thing. Just imagine yourself as a consumer and you're looking for a great product. You look online and you're like, I don't know. Like, you either don't understand their story or you don't know which products to buy. Right? And your job as business owners, as buyers, is to connect the dots of your meaning to everybody so it makes sense. So as I mentioned, your meaning, the top line word I use to summarize your meaning is your unique power position. So as consumers being conscious, what does that mean? It means consumers are asking questions. What does it mean? What does it mean? Where does it come from? How does this product make my life better? Right? That guy on this bike, wearing this helmet, he's buying wind energy, he's articulating his whole sense of self through the products that he's wearing and buying. But he needs to understand them first. And he doesn't just want a helmet or a bike. He wants a bike that is unique, with a power position, that's something that's got an innovation that he understands. Because that's what your consumers want, not more stuff. Innovation, right? And I'm going to share with you the roadmap of how you can connect all these dots in your business as you go. But the first part of this roadmap is your unique power position, right? It's enabling Gen Z and millennials to get why you. Gen Z and millennials who don't have any attention span to get why you. No one has any attention span. It's not just Gen Z and millennials, right? So the problem is that what we used to do in the old world was outsource our meaning to marketing companies, brand designers, webinar creators, product designers. We would spend hundreds of thousands of pounds a year outsourcing our meaning. But if you've got 1 second to make a connection to the people you want to influence, it's not an outward process, it's an inward process as a business, right? Then you can give what is your unique positioning to other people to get why you. Making sense? Yeah? And I don't know what kinds of businesses you have, whether they are self-funded or they're investor-led, but I was reading an article in the Financial Times the other week that said the days of investors investing in loss-making companies are really decreasing. Investors want to see business owners that are focused on their product and how to connect their product in a way that it makes sense to the end audience. So if you might have traditional crafted businesses here, you might be making innovation-led businesses, products or services. Whether it's traditional or it's innovation-led, the key is making a product that the outward customer understands why to buy and love you. So you might have an awesome product, and many people say to me, but we all know what makes us unique, Sara. Inside your business, talking about it as a team, or if you're a solopreneur, inside your head. But if you sit and you try to sell your product and someone asks you what makes you unique, why should I buy you? We practice this, by the way, with my mentorship clients, calling up a buyer and saying, hi, why should I take a meeting with you? And you know so well what makes you unique and what's brilliant about your products inside, but it's so difficult to articulate it outside. Do you connect with that? Yeah, it's challenging, isn't it? And especially because in the old world, right, pre-conscious consumerism, it was okay to make more stuff. Each season we could just make more. We could get those extra colors, make them, and sell it, and no worries. But not today, where making products no one wants is the key reason for business failure of the past, and especially now, in this decade of change. Not caring about sustainability is another key reason for business failure, right? In this decade of change. And you're like, but Sara, we are sustainable. Look at us, we're making amazing crafted products. And the thing is, amazing, but do your customers understand that? Right? In a simple way. Do they know why to choose your amazing sheepskin rugs over other people out there from all over the world? So in this new era, we need a new solution, right? If you think in the past, where it was just a world that was led by more is more is more is more, and today we are conscious. So in that old world, it was all right if everything was disconnected. And we outsourced our marketing, we outsourced our PR. We said someone else can build our brand story. We said someone else can, it doesn't really matter if we focus on what our unique value proposition is today, this year. We'll focus on it next year. Or, you know what, when in doubt, let's just make more products. None of that works anymore. As I said, so if you take one thing away from today, it's really to begin to connect your unique value proposition, power position to all that you do. And I'm going to share with you simple steps to do that so you can walk away and actually implement them. And I'm going to be sharing with you examples of conscious innovators I mentor to make what I'm saying from theory to action and reality through case studies. Is that good? Yeah? Before I do that, I just want to ask a question. Who thinks of themselves as a change maker in the audience? Who thinks, yay? Who else thinks that you're a change maker? Let's get those hands up. Yay! Yes, this lady does. Are you a change maker, guys? Why are you doing what you do? You know, we all have, people talk about purpose, right? Your unique value proposition is also your purpose. What I'm talking about right now is starting from within you as business owners or the businesses you work for to go, what is our purpose? Lots of people talk about purpose, but again, is that tangible? Do you think that purpose, getting clarity on your purpose can lead to selling more? Anyone? Does getting clarity on your purpose help you sell more? Does it help you be successful? Does it help you be victorious? Does it help you achieve your big, reimagined goals? Like if you take where you are, firstly, everybody here is a change maker. That's the news. Today, we are living in the decade of change. It's never been a more exciting time for whatever dream you have to be able to realize it. Because the other brilliant thing about the digital world is it's a brilliant opportunity. It might be overwhelming, you're competing with loads of people, but it's not overwhelming when you find your niche and you connect all that you do to your unique power position. So, you are change makers, we are all change makers. When we unlock our purpose and get clarity on how to say it in a simple way, then it opens doors to be able to sell more and waste less, right? And it opens doors for you to fulfill your dreams. Real dreams, you know, this isn't like a make-believe dream. It's like real dream, like we all work really hard. Why do we do that work? Because we want to make a difference. What is the difference you want to make, right? You can do it, okay? It's all about clarity and alignment and following a roadmap. So this lady is she's a mentee from my mentorship program. Elizabeth, not fashion or textiles, right? We'll be having some more of those examples shortly. But I work with people who want to build a conscious business, scale a conscious business. I work with startups to businesses doing over 10 million euros in turnover. Elizabeth was a startup, so is anyone here a startup? Okay, you'll be able to connect to this story of how we helped Elizabeth get clarity on her purpose in a real, tangible way so that she could launch a conscious film production company. So the problem with purpose is that we've all done so many things in our lives, haven't we? Yeah? How do we join the dots? How do we join the dots of our past, our present, and our future? So Elizabeth was a ballerina. Then she became a Pilates entrepreneur, very, very successful, having Pilates studios in Canada. And then she wanted to pivot, and she became a surfer. And then she wanted to launch female empowerment, not just female empowerment, but empowerment documentaries. The first one about the ballet industry that she knew intimately. What was holding her back was clarity on how does she join those dots of a past, a present, and a future. It was really overwhelming because, as we know, selling, right, selling is about belief. Belief comes from clarity. Belief comes from preparation. It's not, and it's a skill, you can learn it. Anyone can sell better and better when you have more clarity. So what was holding Elizabeth back was that clarity. She knew she inspired others to live their purpose, but she didn't know how to articulate that into a business proposition. So what we unlocked, the thread that connected her past ballerina to her present Pilates surfer and making empowerment films, was her mission was to inspire people to live a life of passion and purpose, right? Now, your mission is, I'm going to share with you how we get to that, because we start with a brainstorm, but then it's very much backed out in data, right? Because your purpose is connected to what you sell the most of, because that's actually what drives you. So when we got that clarity for Elizabeth, she was able to create this documentary, build a team on filming the inner world of ballerinas. She was able to get backing from the Canadian associations, and she launched that company and films in less than 12 months, and she has literally been nominated for 18 awards, winning 8, including 2 for female empowerment. She says she could never have done that simply because the process that I walk you through is to get clarity, right? And so this is how your purpose becomes real and connected to your products you sell. I'm also going to give you today an opportunity for anyone who really wants to get clarity on how to unlock this unique value proposition within you, to connect with me on a call by clicking this QR code. I'll show it again at the end. You just hold your phone and you click on it, and you can book a session with me, which is a 20-minute session where I really help you on these challenges of how to connect your past, your present, and your future to actually your products within your business, and then give you real tools to sell more and waste less. Now I'll explain more examples as we go and show you the roadmap. So conscious consumerism is here, which is amazing for you guys because you are all conscious and this is an amazing conscious festival. No matter your industry, no one wants more stuff. Do you really care? Like, really care? Yeah, how long have you been doing what you do? 40 years business. What do you sell? You're importing for a shop in the US? What, from 12 countries, what does the shop in the US sell? Is it conscious? Yeah. Brilliant. So focusing more on conscious products in the last few years. So now your company really wants to lead. Yeah? So this is what I mean. It's not me just going like, yay! I do that bit, yeah, to get everyone going. But there's a lot of real facts behind what I'm saying. The thing is, it comes back to the competition, right? Your business is 40 years old. Many of the businesses I work with are over 5 years old, many 30 years old, right? Like one of my clients is the president of the World Fair Trade Organization who has an artisan-based multi-million-dollar business in India. And she realized that she'd been in a box of fair trade. And when I spoke about this new opportunity, she realized that today the boxes are so much bigger, right? So if you've been in a box, like an organic box or a fair trade box or a sustainable box, conscious is much bigger than that because the world's consumer is now conscious. So you can meet the consumer where they're at when you've got that clarity, right? But it's all about giving yourself permission to get the clarity and following a roadmap. Again, because I, as well, as I was introduced, I had my own ethical denim business. I saw all the challenges behind getting clarity, which is why I developed this roadmap to help conscious business owners, because I saw it's the key thing that's holding everybody back. Clarity and how to simplify what we do is holding you back from being able to sell more, right? And I'm going to share more examples live now, because these are other business owners like you guys with the same problem. So this couple here are called Lois and Eugenia. They have a multi-million-dollar sustainable winery in Spain. Sustainable winery, right? They make sustainable wine. Is that unique? No, that's not unique. Now, they've been in business 30 years, and they came to Spain because they wanted to take the art of Spanish winemaking with the essence of Amsterdam expertise in product innovation, right? So they're leaders in the sustainability, but they didn't know how to position their products to actually build their value. They were really struggling on pricing. They were really struggling on buyers valuing them for all the reasons that we said before. Because if you're just competing with sustainable wine, or we're a boutique, which is what they were saying, boutique, family-owned Spanish winery, that isn't unique. Their sales teams were going to buyers and were challenged, right, how to sell their products. And this is what I was saying, as well, about when I said the process is internal. Your sales teams can't sell for you what makes you unique if you aren't able to tell them and then create a formula that everybody says the same thing 100 times. Does it make sense? Because the art of sales is being able to sell consistently the same, not just messaging, as I said, because your meaning isn't just messaging, it's everything you do. But what happens with these companies, their sales teams, everybody was saying a different message. So if everybody's saying a different message, and also their sales teams were focusing on different products. So a key part as well of this is getting clarity not on your unique value, but the products that you sell, right? So what we do is we enable you to simplify from, say, making 100 products to focusing on your top 10 to 15. That's what I call your hero products. Now, has anyone heard of the Pareto principle? Anyone? It's the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. 80% of your sales come from 20% of what you do, but also that's very relevant to products, which is very relevant to selling more and wasting less, right? So back to my story and journey as a buyer for Harvey Nichols and for River Island, a key part of my job at River Island was, guys, we got to cut this waste. Why are we sampling more, buying more, making more products? And what I did at River Island was be able to take them from 100 SKUs to a core line of 30 core items, right? Their sales doubled. Same for these guys. 30-year-old business, challenging. Sara, how are we going to take our 100 SKUs? Do we really have to simplify them down to our hero products? Yes, Eugenia, you do. I can be tough, right? And so what we did, we built their unique power position to be leaders in high-quality, natural Spanish wine. Natural is not sustainable, right? I mean, it's not sustainable, but as in, it's a more unique word than sustainable, right? So that became a positioning, natural. And then they had lots of resistance from their sales team. They did not want to lead with the word natural, right? And I was going, your word is natural. I feel it. I know it. And by the way, as I said, what we're talking about here is not intuition-led. We start with what's your purpose, what have you done in your background, but then it's really focused on data. So the second step I'm going to talk to you about in a minute is hero product analysis. So you have your idea of what makes you unique, but we need to back it up with data. So hero product analysis is actually where your sales come from, right? And it was telling us that it was about this word natural. Anyway, they did it. They launched a natural wine, and it became their fastest-selling hero product they've ever sold. Now their sales teams have a script how to position themselves, and they are becoming known within the region and globally as leaders in natural wine. So they have transformed this legacy business, which is really hard, older businesses with all that history, and they've revolutionized it, they've reimagined it so they can lead. And Eugenia I spoke to last week, and she said now they have like all these other companies coming to them for brand partnerships, new invigorating companies like electric car companies who want to partner them because why? Just because they have clarity, okay? So this is what we're talking about in the Conscious Innovator method that I'm going to share with you. It's a holistic roadmap, an inward to go outward. When you have clarity inward, you can go outward to the world and sell more. When you have clarity inward, you can go out to the world and position your products at premium pricing. When you have clarity of what your hero products are, you can position your value. Yeah? Then you don't need to worry about shipping costs. Making sense? Yeah? Amazing. So in the old world, it was disconnected, as I said, and anyone who's joined recently. Old world, marketing, outsourcing, PR, branding, product designers, outsourcing everything worked. But in this world today, the conscious world, you have 1 second to stand out and saying I'm sustainable, I'm organic, I'm fair trade, I'm Irish, we are authentic producers isn't unique enough. It's definitely unique, but you need something that goes in front of it to really give people the why you. So the new world in the conscious world, right, is anyone innovating in the world of sustainability? If you are, it's really complicated. And I see people making this innovation. I work with a lot of people in textiles. This is one of them. This is a brand called Irina Silks. The lady who founded this brand is called Joyty Reddy. Joyty Reddy's business was doing in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But Joyty had a problem because she was a chemist, not a chemist, but really like an engineer, a textile engineer. And she spent so long innovating in this yarn, how to make it without harming animals, because silk is made by boiling the worm, Who knew that? Alive, awful. And Joyty found a particular type of worm where it crawls out of its shell so they could take the actual yarn and then produce it. And she was also positively impacting the communities in the area. So she also had loads of properties about the actual yarn, how it was thermo this and all, it was silk that felt like cashmere and so on and so forth. Have I said loads of things about her already? Do you see why sustainability is complicated? Do you see why innovation is complicated? So what we did with Joyty was bring her back to a unique power position. I make cruelty-free silks. Easier? Yeah? Joyty also then got clarity on what her hero products were, both the yarn and she was selling traditional saris, but she was also trying to do women's wear and doing menswear and selling internationally and selling locally. Complicated? Yeah. When we got clarity of her hero products, right, she realized it was these really beautiful scarves for export market and internally the saris. Joyty's clarity gave her confidence and a roadmap and a direction of how to sell and who to. In the process, I'm going to share with you more about how we do that as well. And this enabled Joyty sales to grow 50% last year. This has enabled Joyty to be chosen to be showing at Premier Vision next month as one of their leaders in sustainability, right? So, conscious consumerism is here, and clarity of your hero product is the way to make impact. Now, I've heard, look at where we are right now at Showcase Island. How busy is it, guys? Yes, it's an amazing, thriving, super busy show here today. Why? Because people care about conscious consumerism and about making. So, today is the moment to strike. Here I was at the Sustainability Show in October, and that's one of the founders of the show. I was speaking there. There were 5,000 people that walked through this show in one day, right? Why? Because people care today. Jawad was amazed, like 5,000 conscious consumers coming to the Sustainability Show. Here we are today, super busy and packed. There are other shows that are not busy and packed. So now is the moment. In the new world, as I mentioned, connection is key. Clarity on your meaning empowers, literally reimagine results. What would be great for you to grow your business by this year? 2%? 5%? Pardon? 20%. Awesome. And what would you like to grow in terms of impact? Like people who work for you, social impact, the makers that you have. Think of it. Because what I love to connect is your goals with a roadmap, right? Because when you have your goal clear, I want to make 20%, then I'm going to share with you how the roadmap works, right? And how this process of connection actually works. But the first way of selling more and wasting less is actually having a goal. Because once we have a goal and once we've put a marker in the sand, right, and said, I want to make 20% more in my business, then we can roadmap our way there. If we don't have a goal, we can't do that. So this is a lady called Marie Eiffel, and this is her partner, Jason. Marie Eiffel, I first met her on that reimagination call I've invited you guys to. And Marie was stressed out and overwhelmed. She has a multi-million-dollar delicatessen business in America. And she was so busy being stressed, busy being busy, actually, busy being in the kitchen, busy making her food, because she didn't know, she didn't have a roadmap of how to actually just give tasks to other people. So that's the problem, right? On, as well, sales. If you don't have clarity, you can't build a team. Yeah? And you can't get other people to work in a great way for you. So Marie, this is her store. So she was like, right, I'm doing X million. I also make amazing food, and I want to launch new brands, and I want to know how to be more profitable. And most importantly, I want to know how not to be burnt out, and how to have a team that can support me, and how to stay in a positive relationship with my partner, Jason. So, everything is connected, which is why I'm also sharing about this holisticness, right? We don't want to just be conscious. We want to feel, and change the world. We need to look after our own health too. And the way to do that, again, comes to clarity and a roadmap and a system and a formula. So Marie wanted to launch new brands to reach more conscious clients. And through this process together, we got to clarity for Marie that her unique power position is real food. Again, not organic or sustainable, deeper than that. Real food. Because it's not just that Marie makes real food, and this is where it connects to purpose. Marie is a real, no-nonsense lady. Marie is also French, and she likes to say "and things." She likes to tell people, they go into the store, they don't just buy food. She might tell them what they should be doing with their life that week. She might give them a new recipe. She might introduce them to someone. She might sell them other things like clothes or homeware. That's why it's "and things." And the thing about real food, your purpose, how is it tangible and real? I asked Marie, why do you care? Why do you do what you do? And when we got to the root of it, she said, well, I speak to doctors and I ask them about nutrition. And then so that made me stop putting tomatoes in my food because they're not that good for you. And then I put other things in. And then I care to make real food so that when someone buys from me in my store, they can go home and have a good evening with their partner, their wife, their children without having to cook. Real food. Real connection. So do you see how purpose, we make it into actually your everything? Yeah, in a real way. Then the food, real food, connected to her hero products. So Marie was having a problem about her margin and pricing. And she really got into this idea with me on hero product analysis. Now, so far, I've only spoke to you about step 1 and step 2 of my roadmap. Unique power position, step 1. Step 2 is hero product analysis. So remember, intuition and data mixed. I give you a tool to get really clear about your hero products. And when we looked at the ones where Marie was connecting her realness, her real food to the product, we saw new opportunities. Also, we then need to look at who the right clients are for you. Right? Because the goal is not to sell to everyone. Because this is where, again, we have problems with value. Because not everyone's going to value you or care about you or want to pay you what you're worth. What we found with Marie is there was a certain clientele that really valued her real food. And for those people, they were 80% of her sales mix. So then Marie could actually find where she could increase prices. Right? And then you can also see how your unique power position is not just your strap line or your strategy or all the other things I mentioned, but it is also your strap line, right? Because you can see here how Marie then used that on her packaging. And Marie, the results were that her sales increased 30% and her profit. So she made extra hundreds of thousands of dollars just by focusing on these steps. And this is the amazing thing, because the world, it's disruptive, it's uncertain, there's all the news, fear. You just think, why do I bother to leave the house today? But the thing is, you create your own certainty, right? So when you have this clarity, you can sell no matter the market, and you can get your goal of increasing your sales by 20%. Anyone else got a goal of how much they want to increase their sales or their impact by? And what's really stopping you today from reimagining your business? What's stopping you from shaking things up, from having a new roadmap, from following a new formula or system? What's stopping you? Oh, there's a question. Everyone looks at it. I don't know. Is it over yet? I'm tired. Is it lunchtime? I don't want to think about what's stopping me. So time. It's a big thing that stops people. Team. Oh my God, a new roadmap? Does that mean I have to learn something new? Right? And I'm not downplaying that. You know, it's scary to learn things that are new. Is it limiting beliefs? It's scary to think about being bigger, actually. Right? It's scary we might have a mission that we want to be out there, but do we really? Yeah, because it's scary. Now, these guys are in my current cohort, smiling. They took this picture last week because I said I wanted to show them in this presentation. This lady on the left is called Pragati, and that's one of her team, Ojas. They work for a social enterprise in India called Flourish Shop, where they sell curated products from artisans. They came to my program. Pragati was fierce. She was like, why am I doing it? What's it about? I'm not spending money on it. This is going to come out of my marketing budget, right? She asked me 100 million questions about the formula, the system, how it works. And I said to Pragati, your problem is that you're spending $5,000 a month on marketing. But she was getting one-to-one return. So she'd spend $5,000, make $5,000, make no money or profit. And the problem was how she stood out, how she actually fulfilled the organic sales, right? They didn't know how to position. And they weren't focused on their hero products. The result has been that they're still in my program. It's 6 months. After 3 months, we established their unique power, unique artisan collections, right? But their unique power position is a curated artisan marketplace. Do you see the difference? Many people creating artisan platforms, but again, who wants to go if they can't know what the hero products were? My job is helping you not just on a formula and a system, but helping you reimagine your business at every step. So when I said to them, I feel like you guys, what you're doing that's unique is curation. Curation. That's what sets you apart. And what we found as well, I gave them a system of hero product analysis, right? This is one of their hero products. Terracotta building blocks that are like a artisan Lego. So they then put this ad up. They then were able to get their revenue on ad spend has gone from 1 to 4. So for every dollar they're investing, they're getting $4 in sales back. So I'm like, Pragati, are you happy now? Are you happy? As finally the investment, you've seen how tangible it is in the results. And they're really happy. Not just on that, but they've got a whole now plan of how to scale their business and to get investment into their company so that they can fulfill their goal to be India's #1 curated artisan marketplace. So this method, in a year and a half, I've worked with over 50 business owners with this method, and I'm really humbled to say it is impacting 10,000s of people globally. It is for people who realize there is no time to waste. It is for people who, are comfortable to be uncomfortable, to reimagine their business, to go to new heights of impact of what you want to achieve, right? It is uncomfortable for people who want to climb mountains. This is me climbing a mountain. And I'm sharing this picture to say that I value mentorship so much because I've seen it works in every area of life. I'm not a coach, I am a mentor. The difference is that I help you, right? I help you to reach the goal that you want, and I help you to get those answers. The problem, what we don't see in life, is the pain that goes behind. That's me in pain, not struggling to climb that mountain. And that's my hiking mentor, Mike. And I had ear problems, and I had vertigo climbing the mountain, and I didn't know if I was going to make it up. And with Mike there supporting me and showing me the way to do it, I was able to achieve the impossible. And that, for me, is what mentorship is all about. I only first experienced mentorship for myself as a business owner 5 years ago, and I saw the amazing transformation it had for me, which is why I built this roadmap, because, as I said, I've been an impact entrepreneur myself. I am an impact entrepreneur. I see all the challenges and the pain that goes behind it. This is another amazing lady called Paula, who she has a conscious digital business. She's the smiley one with the boiler jacket. She had this business, a digital agency, enabling conscious brands to reach Gen Z and millennials. But she didn't know. She got burnt out because she didn't know what her hero products were, right? Through the process together, we found that the Conscious Festival was her hero product. And this clarity has enabled her to really get amazing results. This is the roadmap. So feel free to take a picture of it, and I'm going to explain more. Now, I've been really focused on steps 1 and 2 here, right? Get clarity and hero product analysis. Now, you can see how I built this roadmap that puts your hero product, and by the way, as business owners, also as people who work in companies, as individuals, you're also a hero product, as well as the products and services you sell. Does it make sense? You're a hero product as well as the products and services you sell. So my job is unlocking both who you are as an individual that's a hero product and then your business, and aligning all that together. Because again, it's this alignment that enables you to sell more and waste less. So I'll finish now by taking you through a few steps to see how it works, the connection step by step. So we've got this unique power position element, step 1, get clarity, where we talk about and unlock your purpose. We unlock, the first step of that is on that call with me. But then we need to get really deep with that, because we can have this idea of your purpose, like we've said, but we need to then back it up with data, right? And the facts. And again, it applies to, you know, like with Marie. Okay, so it was the product real food, but then we had to see, as a business owner, she also wanted to be a thought leader. She also wanted to do YouTube videos. So why do people come to you, Marie? And this is where we really establish that word real. So do you see that with analysis, it's you as an individual, it's your product, it's your service, it's aligning it all together. Then we look at your impact mission. Goals, as the lady there said, 20% sales goals increase. Also your impact goals for people and our planet. Right, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, what do you want to achieve? Then we look at mindset, all those fears. As I said, fears are real. We all feel not worthy. We all feel scared, myself included, to step out of comfort zone, to stand on a stage, to talk to you, to share a method. It's really scary, right? So I talk about all these things and mindset practices that we can have on a daily time. Like before I spoke today, Sam saw me upstairs and said, I'm just going to take 15 minutes to meditate. That's one of my daily practices, to really align into the right mindset so that you can prepare. And you know, everything I'm talking about here is preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. It isn't one day somebody's confident, or somebody can go out of their comfort zone, or somebody feels worthy, or somebody feels valued, whatever, right? It's because they've prepared and they've really they've worked out who they are and what they sell, and they believe in it. Okay? They believe in it. And when you go through a process to get really clear, it's real food, it's natural wine, it's curated marketplace. Do you see how much easier it is to sell? Because you know who you are, what you stand for, you believe in it, so you're prepared and you're confident. That's what we do in mindset. Then in hero product design, we start to look ahead. It's all about planning. I love to plan, right? So that I'm giving you a plan. First, we really transform your business, then we plan. And that plan starts at it starts on step 1. But here we really look at where are you going forward, right? If we take all your businesses, all your brands, everybody, how do we cut it back? How do we literally simplify it, cut it back, hone it, so that we can take, whether it's 100 items to 10, whether it's 10 services to 3, and this is the way that you build your sales. Then we look at real brand story. Again, I care about, you might have guessed it, your sales. Why do I care so much about sales? Because sales mean impact, right? I care that that $44 trillion of stuff is converted to amazing conscious products, because then we really can transform our world. And that's why I care about sales. That's part of my real brand story, right? Your real brand story is really not something on a website. It's not some words we share. It's actually preparing all the rest of the dots together, so right? Making sense that your real brand story isn't words on a website. It's not something that PR do. It's literally, you can tell PR what your real brand story is, but they can't tell you it if you want to sell more and waste less, because it has to come from within. So the conscious consumer, and that's, by the way, just the first 6 steps, right? And the rest is about building out a 12-month impact legacy roadmap to actually get those sales happening. So this is another brand who has been on my program called Sara. Conscious consumers want hero products. This is one of their hero products, woven baskets. And they understand clarity builds impact. This is Richard, who, this was his wife's business. Sara make many different products. And I had to battle with Richard to say, these are your hero products, Richard, these amazing baskets. Because he was also making jewelry. And he was making loads of other things. And I'm like, you want to scale a sustainable business, Richard? You've got over 200 artisans working for you. But like, if people don't understand what your hero products are, you're not going to be able to sell more. And Richard had taken over his wife's business, and this was a really powerful, challenging process for Richard, actually, to dive in and actually learn more. Because, you know, he hadn't been challenging himself in that way. And the result for Richard is he has clarity that his products weave a better future. That is his unique power position. Richard's sales grew not 20%, 60%. 60%. And that's just in the last few months, because he finished my program in the summer. So he's gone to trade shows, and he goes, Sara, I'm too busy to do your testimonial video because we've got all our orders flying out the door. He's been able to increase his social impact from 230 to 250 artisans in full-time jobs. Full-time jobs. He's given 20 more jobs because he's got them to specialize on making the baskets and cut out the jewelry. So one more opportunity, if you'd like to connect with me. This is a reimagination call. It's a strategic call. It's a free 20-minute call where I'm going to give you the first steps to unlock your unique power and to see where there are opportunities for you to build your sales and your impact this year. Thank you. Thank you. And if we have time for any questions, and sorry, I don't know how long I've been talking.
There we go. Just really like to say, Sara, thank you so much. That was impactful, that was inspiring, that was energetic. I'd just like to invite, are there any questions from the audience? I know I've got a few that I'd like to ask myself, but I'd just like to invite anybody from the audience if anybody has a question. Okay.
And I really love, like, if anyone's like, I don't know what my unique power is, any question, like, I love thinking on the spot. I'm helping people.
For me, Sara, what struck me was that, you know, a lot of businesses here, some of them are owner-managers, we've got a lot of startups, and I suppose you spoke about time, you spoke about the team, how do you prioritize that? I mean, that can be sort of overwhelming for people when they're so busy working in the business, they don't have time to work on the business, you know?
Yeah, so how you prioritize is, we're all really busy being busy. Yeah, we're really expert at being busy. And I don't know if anyone's heard of the author Tim Ferriss. he has the 5 a.m. club, he's a podcaster, and he's written lots of books, and he says, when everyone else is being busy, he's sort of walking in the park, meditating, thinking of his next plan. Because the problem when you don't have a plan, and no, most businesses have plans. This kind of plan is a different kind of plan. This is like an overhaul of stripping everything back so you can focus. Why we're busy is because we're not focused. And so we don't know what our goals is. We don't know what our hero products is. So everyone's just busy making stuff or contacting clients, getting frustrated. Why is no one picking up the phone? When you've connected all those dots, suddenly there's loads more time. So Pragati was super stressed before she joined this program. And she said, I don't have more time, and I don't know how Ojas, as my team member, will manage it. Now, this is 2 hours every 2 weeks. Do we all have that? Yes. And they now look forward to that because it gives them, they know that they're going to save 10 hours, 20 hours over that 2 weeks because they know what they're focusing on. And Pragati, who, she never had time to do yoga or look after herself, now she does. So it's about making a decision, really, and really looking at the bigger picture of what you want to build.
And I guess just the last question that I'd have for you, Sara, it's just, I suppose, in terms of rationalizing product range, because having worked with businesses going into retail, I know how much they're their babies and things, and they feel like they want to have something for everybody. And I suppose it's about how you give businesses confidence to look at the range, but also to be able to identify what is there, and how far do they rationalize it? Is it in half? Is it by 20%? Is it by 90%?
Can be as much as 90. I'm not that ruthless. No, generally at least 30%. So it's a great question because we all want to try and please everybody. But that is just not the answer, and it comes back to the time. Mm-hmm. And this is where there's 3 different ways, 3 different clients: satisfied, dissatisfied, evangelist. They're 3 different client groups. Evangelists love somebody else, they're never going to love you. Satisfied have something that's already doing something similar, they love what they're doing. We're looking just for the dissatisfied people. And what people try to do is sell to satisfied and evangelists, and they're never, ever going to buy from you. So we waste all this time and say, why is no one getting back to us? Because we haven't defined our niche. Mm-hmm. So when we define the niche, then we know who the client is, and then we get the results. And we can the answer is not to please everybody.
Absolutely.
And it's tough, though. Like, Richard kept wanting to make jewelry. And I was like, Richard, it's your baskets. And now he goes, I'm so happy you said to drop the jewelry.
Fantastic, fantastic. Sara, I've really enjoyed the talk. I'm sure everybody else has as well. I'd really like to thank you for coming. It's been inspiring. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.